This one called Witness from 1985 is one of those classic movies that may have held up in the 1980s, when there weren't too many good movies around, but today it does not quite hold up. Harrison Ford has played in much more entertaining movies than this, and although it starts well in the beginning and has a quite decent ending, it has the drawn-out middle part that ruins the entertainment in this movie. The specific hiding from Harrison Ford, or John Book as his character is called in the movie, is a very long boring part where you are much more interested in the forced love relation that begins between Book and the Amish girl in the story called Rachel. The movie is supposed to be this conspiracy to frame Book for a murder he did not commit, when he goes snooping around and finds out that Danny Glover's character is the one that committed the murder, as you saw witnessed by the Amish boy at the very start of the movie. When Book tells that to his boss, he turns against him and decides to pursue Book as a suspect. It's here it could have been a lot more intense, and they could have arrived at the Amish place a lot earlier in the movie, because don't get me wrong, the suspense in the end is pretty clever, but the part where Book is in hiding at the Amish place may for some people be found funny, but this feels like a miss to me. Because it is supposed to be more of an action thriller, but after watching it, you feel it's more of a drama thriller, where you learn more about Amish culture than actual conspiracies. For some of you, that may be interesting, but I wish for a darker, more entertaining movie with more suspense. If the movie had been made today, I think it's also something that they would do, that they would perhaps made it more intense, and that the people involved in conspiracy tried a lot harder to find Book and not just come bursting there 20 minutes before the movie ended. But again, of course, if you want to know more about Amish life and culture, then this movie may be more for you. You of course understand that Book has to go into hiding, but for most of the movie, he is not found, and he has it way too easy, sheltered away from the bad guys. I think also it is natural to point out that this also is an old Oscar movie, so that may be one of the reasons that they couldn't go darker. Harrison Ford also has got an award for the role, and although I think he plays it pretty well, I'm not over the top excited for it either. Of course, I don't always have a love affair with the older movies from the 80s and 90s that have a high rating, and you think they might be overrated. That's why, for me, this one, like Casino, it will be a 5 out of 10.